If you notice any of the things I'm about to share with you in this video, in your life as a musician, whether you are a singer or a songwriter, or you play any of the musical instruments, chances are you are not going to make it as a musician in this world and in this industry that we find ourselves today. Compliments of the season to you and a happy new year. My name is Elendo Izuchukwu, also known as IBEM Production. Welcome to my channel where I share general tips for musicians and my thoughts and my general approach to music and life in general. So if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, turn on the post notification bell so you get notified anytime I put out a new content, and do well to like and leave your comments down below. Succeeding as a musician requires a lot of hard work and effort. Talent is never enough. When we talk about success and making it as a musician, talent is on the low scale. Yes, it all starts with talent and passion and all, but it goes beyond that. You know, as we see today in our industry and in our world, the most talented are not the ones making the major decisions that affects the industry and the world. This can be as a result of them not having the level of success and affluence required for them to be a part of those decision-making body. So when I say decision-making, not that they call the shots, no. These are people who, by their own lifestyle, control and the industry. So this can be as a result of two things, you know, what I call the personal factor and the systemic factor. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to dwell on the personal factor. I'm trying to keep this video as short as possible. So the personal factor. Let's see how your personal decisions and your personal views can deter you and delay you from being successful as a musician. If you find yourself doing 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe more of the things I'm going to talk about in this video, chances are you're not going to make it as a musician before you finally give up and throw in the towel and look for something else to do with your life. Reason number one why you may never make it as a musician: not enough knowledge about the instrument and its purpose. Now, you might be talented and playing any instrument. When I say instruments, it can be your voice as a singer, or you play maybe any of the musical instruments, you know. So your instrument is your voice and any other instrument. So playing any instrument comes to you at ease because you're talented. Yes, that's cool. But when we get to the pro level where success is determined, your true knowledge of the instrument and your understanding of its purpose is tested. That's where they test your knowledge, whether you really know this instrument or not. Now, it's no longer about how many riffs you can sing or how fast you can play, or, you know, it's now about how well you are able to interpret the role that is allotted to you in the music. how well you're able to interpret that role. That is what matters now. That's what counts. So ask yourself, in this music that I'm doing, as an instrumentalist or as a singer, do I really have enough knowledge, enough understanding about my instrument and its true purpose? This will serve as a scale that you use to see your level on your success chart. Reason number 2 why you may never make it as a musician: you don't practice enough. This is a big problem that I've seen amongst musicians that I've come in contact with. Like I always say, 15 minutes every day on your instrument. So when I say instrument, your voice is your instrument if you are a singer, and your instrument can also be the keyboard, the guitars, ekwe, udu, the rest of them. 15 minutes every day on your instrument is better than 1 million hours once a week. I keep saying that, at the level of, at the pro level where success is determined, one thing you have to know is that mediocrity is so frowned at. Like, it's frowned. Take for instance, there is okay. Before I give this instance here, one of the big problems that I've noticed that causes musicians to that kills the practice life of musicians that I've noticed over the year is just a big misappropriation of hard work and spirituality. There's this thing that I've come to realize among musicians, especially in this part of the world. They tend to associate the level of their expertise with the level of their spirituality. The level of their spirituality, quote and unquote. They think the more spiritual they are, the better they are on their instrument. This is a big deception. This is a big lie. Okay, so back to the instance. There is no amount of spirituality an amateur would have. Take, for instance, an amateur guitar player. There is no level of spirituality he or she would have that will make the Recording Academy, that's Grammy, to invite them to be a member of, be part of the band, the Recording Academy band in the music world we find ourselves today. There is no how. Just practice your instrument. Practice your instrument. Practice your instrument for a clearer flow and a clearer channel. So if you find yourself giving more time to trying to be spiritual on your instrument as opposed to you actually practicing and getting better on your instrument, then you will never make it as a musician. Reason number 3 why you may never make it as a musician is wrong perspective about your talent and the career. You see, a lot of musicians still think the level of their dexterity is a direct result of some spiritual tokenism and not a result of the hard work they put in, you know, to learning and knowing their instruments. A lot of musicians still don't know that music is a career path on it as we know it today. Music is a career. So, with this wrong perspective, they take for granted what it is they are doing. You know, not knowing that the day you picked up that instrument as a singer, or you started learning that instrument, you signed the agreed check for the career path. So having the wrong perspective and the wrong mindset about what you're doing would only delay the time it will take for you to become successful at what you are doing, you know. So ask yourself, as a musician, okay, I know my instrument very well and I practice enough. Do I have the right perspective to what do I take what I'm doing serious enough? You know, so all these things are converted to years. That's what you don't know. If you started playing or you started singing in 2012 and up until now, you're still taking what you're doing for granted, that means you're taking 10 years of your life 10 years of your life for granted. Wow. So this is another reason why you may never make it as a musician before you throw in the towel and look for something else to do with your life. Another reason you may never make it as a musician is what I call the fear of the unknown. A lot of musicians are so afraid of what they can't explain and what they don't understand for now. You see, they are so afraid to make those life and career changing decisions that will catapult their career from the level it is now to the next level it's supposed to be, because they are scared. What I call the what if syndrome. What if this happens? What if that happens? This decision making can be it can be enrolling for a course, a different course. You know, you're scared. This can I? What if I do this and it doesn't work out? You know, the decision making can be you leaving a particular place. It can be you changing location. It can be getting an upgrade. You know, those major decisions that you need to take. But because as a musician and because of the society we find ourselves, a lot of people are scared to make some major life-changing decisions. So the fear of the unknown. The truth is, whether you make that decision now or you don't, what will be would be. It's better you try and then fail, and then you know how not to try it again, than for you to just sit down there and hoping, which brings us to the next point. So the next one is what I call hope for change. the hope for change, or rather the hope for a change, this has killed and crippled a lot of musicians and a lot of careers in music, in the sense that a lot of musicians have stayed in the wrong place for the longest of time because of the hope for a change. A lot of musicians have gone to the wrong places, taking some wrong decisions, both in their finances and lots more, because they are hoping for a change. They've stayed in the wrong setting and in the wrong situation for a very long time past when they are supposed to be there. Because the truth is, if it doesn't happen the first time or the second time, it might never happen. So, and if it's not favoring your career, hoping for a change is just hurting yourself the more, because trust me, it's not gonna change. You just need to take the next step. You just need to follow through with the next chain of action. So hoping for a change would only cripple you and make you feel bad, especially when at the long run it still didn't happen. So this is one thing that has crippled a lot of musicians. I've seen and I've met a lot of musicians that have been in the wrong places for as long as I can remember, and all they do is hoping, especially when it's a fresh year. There's always a new hope for for things to change, for things to get better, and then you spend another year in the same situation or in the same setting that drains you and saps you of your energy and of your essence. And so hope for change. So as a musician, just every now and then you need to run an appraisal, self-appraisal, kind of like a self-appraisal, yeah? You try, do I have a strong knowledge of my instrument? Do I practice enough? Do I have the right perspective about what it is I'm doing? What else did we talk about? Am I afraid or scared to take that major life-changing decision in my career? Or, and then you check yourself. Where am I having hope that I should be exerting action, and that I should be, where are those places in my life as a musician that I am hoping for a change instead of working for a change, So by the time you're able to check yourself and see, the scale, you should be able to tell yourself if at the end of the day you would be a successful musician, or you just be one of those numbers in the music industry. So last and not the least, one reason why you may never make it as a musician in this industry and in this world that we find ourselves: ignorance. There's a lot of definition as to what ignorance is, but over the years, what I've discovered is that ignorance is just like, you don't have an idea about something. You know you don't have an idea about something, and you're not willing to make an effort to have an idea about the thing or to even know about the thing, and you even care less. The truth is, in the long run, whether or not you have the idea, the things that control the idea, the things that control the scenario where you find yourself would still have a control over you, whether you like it or not. So, ignorance is one thing that has destroyed a lot of musicians that I've met and I've come in contact with over the years. You know, you don't know, you don't care to know, you don't want to know. So, the truth is, what we fail to realize as musicians and as a people as well is that there are people who pay for every musician to stay ignorant. I'll probably discuss this enough in the next video where I talk about the systemic factors. You know, there are people who pay for you to remain ignorant. So don't think you're being ignorant because you're ignorant. No. Your ignorance is as a result of someone else paying for you to remain ignorant. So I'll talk about this a lot more in the next video. So if you enjoy this kind of content, do like the video. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, and you can share with me in the comment section what you think, and just share your story. Talk to me. I'll try to engage as much as I can, and this is IBM Production, wishing you a happy new year once more, and signing out.